What's up guys, Thrill here, and today I want to talk about the Knuckles or index controllers, whatever you want to call them. They're pretty amazing and they do things that no other VR controller does. I mean, it's what they are. They're a really advanced VR controller that offer things like full hand tracking, well, almost full hand tracking. But the ironic thing is that they can't do the one thing that just about every other controller made with an analog stick can do. And we'll talk about that, but first let's get some glamour shots. So, pretty cool controllers. They do things that other VR controllers can't do. It's kind of weird to me that something like the Knuckles with 87 sensors and some of the most cutting edge VR technology that we have seen yet, at least for the consumer side, but they can't nail the one thing that was previously established by the gaming industry, and that's of course the analog stick. You've got generation after generation of controllers that have working easy analog sticks. Unfortunately, in VR, we've got less buttons on our controllers. Essentially, the A and B buttons on both controllers do the same thing. This touchpad is completely useless. We've got good triggers, actually very good triggers, but that's it. You don't have any other controls. If you compare the amount of usable buttons to like an Xbox controller, you've got far less to work with. So every button matters significantly more. And one of those buttons happens to be that one. And that's the problem here. Of course, in a typical analog stick, you have movement in all directions. You have one axis, two axis, and of course the Z axis, which is a click. On the index controllers, one axis, two axis, and
so, maybe someday the number 2
this all makes sense now.
to that shiny
Valve can't count to 3. No, that can't be. That can't be. But what if it is? Okay, no. That can't be it. That can't be it. Anyways, it's hard to tell if this thing is a defect or if this was Valve's plan. According to Valve, at least their initial statement, this was their plan. This was how they manufactured the index. I do not think that is the case by any means, because my index controllers actually actuate from all directions. I could be over here, and you don't hear anything, but the button still goes off. On this side, I could be pushing it forward, and it does work, just very faintly. However, other people that I have played with and talked with, they just don't have a click if their analog stick is pointed any other direction other than straight up and down. And that doesn't work for a lot of games. So, do I think that you should spend your money on something like this that could be like fundamentally flawed? I don't know. You might want to hold off. Because so far, probably in the past couple decades, I haven't seen an analog stick that's this bad. And the problem is that's how you move. It's not like a button is mushy, which they are. Something is not working with this device, and people are having problems and Valve isn't doing anything about it, at least not right now. Would I recommend you to buy these controllers if you are super sensitive to something like a physical button press, or if you never want to remap your controllers? No, you're gonna hate it. It's gonna be awesome for something like VR chat, but as soon as you need to press that button while you're moving any other direction, you're gonna be wishing that you had some other controller. Now, I'm not returning these because I don't really have that much of a problem. Mine work. I can't say the same about everybody else, and that's something to consider. Of course, there's fixes. People have actually been extending the little rod that actuates the button, and it seems like it's been working, but hey, that's if you want to do that. So even though these things are jam-packed and in ways the absolute best VR controller that we have had yet, I don't know if I could recommend these to you because they're not finished. At least this version is not finished. In the coming months, they might get significantly better. Who knows? But of course, if they do get better, you know where you could see that, and that's on Tuesday Newsday. So make sure that you guys subscribe if you want to keep up on that news. Give this video a like and comment what you think. I don't really know what I'm doing with this type of video, but here it is. Awesome. Well, thanks guys. Much love. Thrill out.